Hello, everyone. John Hurst here, activist, singer, writer, actor, and unabashed liberal Democrat. Today, I just wanted to share some thoughts on two complex subjects. I'll try to keep it short. They are Social Security, disability, and Medicare for all. I am a firm believer in Medicare for all, and having just finished a harrowing case review of my Social Security disability benefits, it has convinced me that Medicare for all is a vital need that this nation must adopt. And let me tell you why. I currently receive Social Security disability because of my bad knees, my herniated disc, glaucoma, and a severe clinical depression. The simple fact of the matter is that I constantly find myself in a quandary. The quandary is that Social Security disability doesn't pay enough in terms of benefits to cover all of my bills. And when I say all of my bills, I'm not speaking about frivolous, extraneous things that people sometimes spend money on. I'm talking about basic needs. Social Security disability pays enough for food, my rent, and my telephone. But that's really about it. If I have unexpected medical copays, chiropractic care, utility bills that exceed my budget, it simply doesn't cover it. And so I work part-time. I'm able to work part-time because I'm allowed to make a certain amount, but I'm not allowed to go past that amount. So I'm constantly having to limit and remain dependent on my Social Security disability for not just my living expenses, but also for my health care costs. And this is why we so desperately need a Medicare for all plan. The simple fact of the matter is that Medicare for all would empower people like me tremendously. One, it would allow us to begin to earn it would allow us to have some degree of autonomy and make some degree of choice in terms of remaining on Social Security disability and returning to the workforce, or remaining on it in order to ensure that we're able to function. I myself, without my Social Security disability healthcare benefits, would not be able to function effectively in terms of work. I have a herniated disc, I have very bad arthritis, I have glaucoma. If I didn't have health insurance, my mobility would be affected, my eyesight would gradually get worse, and my clinical depression would become crippling. So, why Medicare for all? One, besides providing people with choices, it would be cheaper for people like me. The simple fact of the matter is that even with the exchanges in full operation, even California covered, would still be too expensive for people like me to afford. Simple fact is, even under California covered, given my age, I would be facing premiums of $300 to $500 a month. Now, my benefits on Social Security disability is $1,300. My rent, give or take, during the winter averages $800 to $850. So the simple fact is, I would have to choose between food, chiropractic care, or other kinds of basic needs if I did not have my current healthcare plan. But a Medicare for all plan would probably involve a payment on a monthly basis from FICA contributions, which for people like me would still be in the long run and far more affordable than the current market system that literally left me with either having to be eligible for Medi-Cal, which is part of my current program, if I wasn't eligible for that, having to face huge, massive bills and make the kinds of trade-offs that no individual in an advanced Western society should have to make. Now, let me be clear. I'm not suggesting that Medicare for all isn't something that needs to be paid for. It does. But from everything I've read, people like me would still end up having to pay less when I include all the costs of the copays, my chiropractic care, getting to appointments, physical therapy costs that may not be covered by my current plan, all those kinds of things. And more importantly, it would allow me to gradually increase or to explore whether or not returning to work was full-time was an option. Okay, so I just want to leave those thoughts. A final thought on the subject, actually, before I finish up. It is important that people understand that when one's Social Security benefits are challenged, it is a terrifying experience. Now, most people who are on Social Security disability are on Social Security disability for valid reasons. That's what I was trying to say. Yes, there is a small percentage of people who may be attempting to defraud the system. But most people on Social Security disability are like me. We have real physical challenges, but we want to contribute both as creative individuals and as people who believe in paying their fair share and contributing economically. So, contrary to what Republicans and many hardline conservatives suggest, most people on Social Security are incredibly motivated. I'm an actor. Well, not so much now because of my bad knees, but I'm a singer and a writer, and I was an actor. And even when I was doing those things, I was still working part-time. So let me be clear to all you conservatives out there who want to suggest that everyone on Social Security is simply lazy or attempting to defraud the taxpayers. One, I'm a taxpayer. When I work part-time, I pay taxes. And two, most people on Social Security disability, like me, are not lazy. We're incredibly motivated, and we want to contribute. We simply have the need for a healthcare system that doesn't punish us for trying to make ends meet in an economy that just doesn't work for people like me, and certainly doesn't work for people who have physical disabilities or challenges that make it hard for them to function without the kind of healthcare support and financial support that they need in order to contribute. Okay, so that's all of my thoughts. I hope people will consider the need for a Medicare for All plan for every American. It will save money. It will allow people like me on Social Security disability to remain active and contribute in increasingly effective ways. And it will also truly cut down on the people who find themselves having to apply for Social Security disability. And thus, it will decrease the strain. It will decrease the fiscal strain on the budgets of both state and federal governments in the long run. So, I urge everyone to consider, one, advocating for a Medicare for All plan for the nation, and two, urging your representatives to increase the gross amount per month that people can earn while receiving Social Security disability. Because we either provide people with the benefits that they need to meet their basic needs, or they're going to keep trying to find ways to skirt around the system, not because they are dishonest, but simply because in many cases they're just trying to make ends meet in one of the most expensive areas in the world. All right, thanks for taking a few moments to listen to me. Sorry if I rambled a little bit, but these are complex issues. But again, the Medicare for All system would both strengthen our nation and reduce the fiscal strain. Increasing the amount that people can earn on Social Security disability in terms of gross earnings per month would reduce the existential terror that people feel when they're trying to make ends meet and stay within the expected and required parameters. And two, it would empower a whole class of people to both recover, to move forward, to heal, and to also become economically more autonomous. Okay, Blessings to everybody. My thanks to my friends who bore with me through yet another days or period of emotional upheaval. I love you all, and thank you everyone else for taking a moment or two to think about the points I've raised in sharing my experience. Take care.